Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. So, Ryan, you wake up the next morning in the three candles, and I lost my carrot somehow, um, and head back to the goofy dog, I think.
Yeah, I need to memorize a spell. I'm sitting here with deciding whether sleep would be good again or whether I just want to set everything on fire. I contemplate how much I value Gtech's life. I'll memorize sleep again.
Is that a higher value of his life?
Yeah, I might still want to bang his sister, and he seems like a sweet kid.
All right.
So I memorize sleep and knowledge reckless dreamer again. Go over my notes, my little swamp notebook,
Mm-hmm.
detailing my various experiments, I guess, with magics,
Right.
and head back down after whatever that 10 minutes of memorizing spell
Mm-hmm.
to the goofy dog.
All right. As you approach the goofy dog, you see Gtech standing outside of it with a kind of a cracked old medium shield. It's like a big round one. Whatever drawing was on it once or painting that was on it is like since faded and been hacked off, and you can kind of see bits and pieces, but it's really unintelligible. The wood looks old. As I said before, it's got some cracks and hacks in it, but it holds up all right. And he's got at his side a very, very nice longsword. Much, much nicer than you would have expected. Like it has a gem encrusted in the handle and like the pommel.
Crazy. What did you say? He's wearing armor?
He's just got that same leather shirt on that he did before.
Okay. That sword looks nice.
He nods up and
Come
down.
on,
It was my pappy's.
it's this way. Now, have you ever seen a lizard man before?
No, sir.
They're big suckers.
Okay.
Um,
You ever killed one before?
have I? Probably not.
Probably not.
I'm from Swamp Side. Our general approach is just to knock them out and
Knock him out.
dump them out in the swamp.
Why would you
They're
knock
more
him
of a
out?
they're more of a nuisance than anything.
Okay.
Think of them like animals, but sometimes bad dogs or bad packs need to be put down.
Interesting way of
I'm just
looking at things.
stabbing nonsense into this kid's ears to save face.
I always thought they were like orcs and ogres and goblins, just intelligent, evil, monstrous humanoids that are out to eat us all. But what you say about animals makes a lot of sense. Why has no one ever said that before? Seems very like.
You can talk to an orc or an ogre. Good luck making any sense of a lizard man's foul screeches.
Eventually, you guys arrive back at the sewer entrance, and you see Cookie standing there with a frying pan in her hand, like a big cast iron.
What does she
skillet.
have on her feet? Is she wearing like actual shoes, or do women wear high heels?
She's wearing brown pants instead of a big skirt, and a greenish tunic. She's got shoes on her feet, but they're still kind of just like sandals. And now that you glance at Gtech's feet, and he's also wearing sandals.
You guys are going to want to be careful what you're stepping down there. And Cookie, I look to what Gtech. How did Gtech react to his sister being here?
He was gonna wait for you, but as you like look to him, he steps forward and says, "Cookie, what are you doing here? Girls don't belong down in the sewer."
Now. Ladies do not belong down in the sewer. You are much too classy for the filth and the riffraff down there.
Oh, I ain't going down there. I'm here to stop Gtech. Thinks he can go down there. You're gonna get yourself killed, boy. Huh? I promised Mama and Papa I'd look after you.
All right, I cookie. You trust me, don't you?
Not further than I can throw you.
Well, for what it's worth, I will see that no harm comes to Gtech here.
And who's gonna see that no harm comes to you, huh?
Gtech?
You just want another Chase's friends, right? And he's down there dead, so... Gtech steps forward and says, Sis, this is men's work, huh? Why don't you girls go back and farm something or play with the pigs, huh? They're your best friends anyway. And they continue to squabble and just yell at each other. It looks like you're going to have to intervene if you want to get anything done with either of them today.
Yeah. All right. I pull. Let's see. I've already used one. I pull up a pinch of rose petals that I use for my sleep spell.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a full dose, so it's probably a few petals. And I place them into Cookie's hand. Does she have a free hand that doesn't have a frying pan?
I mean,
in it?
yeah, she's waving around doing this, and they're yelling at each other,
I'd
and you
say
like put these.
These rose petals are no ordinary rose petals. They are magically enchanted, and I use them to invoke my magics. So you can be assured that I must return to retrieve them.
She drops them on the ground and steps on them. Right, like you're the first man who's come up to me and said these are magic rose petals.
Gtech.
He pushes past his sister and says,
I light my torch. I say, and move the grate. Sorry, no, yeah. Light my lantern and move the grate. Gtech, I will light your way, but I believe that it would be most tactically advantageous if your shield went first. And I hold the lantern over the entrance to the sewer, and hope that he will push.
Lifts and moves the grate. And
I've already
his
moved
sister's his sister starts threatening him with the frying pan, and he ignores her and goes down, and she doesn't follow through with anything.
All right. For a second there, I was worried you were trying to get me to use my sleep spell on her before we even get to the lizardmen.
I'm not trying to do nothing. I roll with the role play. I don't worry about how that affects you.
So I followed Gtech down shortly after, and I try and make sure that my light is dangling in such a way that he can see by it.
God, people in chat are so sexist, you guys. I can't believe you're actually siding with Gtech on this. Like I'm trying to portray him as an asshole, and people are like,
You shouldn't have made it Well, I mean, in reality, this is not the work for 0th level fighters.
What makes you think he's a 0th level fighter?
No, he's fine. His
his sister, yeah.
He's probably just got D6 or D8 HP. I guess it was statistically more than I have.
Yeah.
Well, more than I should have.
Well, anyway, so
Gtech climbs down the ladder without incident, or does he get ambushed and eaten?
No, he climbs down the ladder without incident.
So I point. I was assuming it was up, the way that I went with the bars, with the barred gate.
Right. Okay, so you guys are down in the sewers now.
Ooh, music. The music got spookier.
Yeah, it did.
So I point up. I guess I gesture over his shoulder with my.
He nods.
With my lantern, and I say, I encountered the lizard folk that way.
All right. He gets his shield out in front of him and starts walking down the hallway.
There will be a barred gate that we must pass, and then the bodies beyond.
He nods and pushes along with you. You come past that alcove that is boarded over, and you go down even further until you come against the barred gate. He looks back over his shoulder and goes, "This is the gate?"
Yeah, I look down at his feet again. I just sort of circle around it. I'm wearing boots. You may wish to climb as to keep your feet unsullied.
He steps in the muck with intent and starts walking around it.
Very well. And I let him take the point again.
Okay. You come back to that same area where you found the body before, and it is no longer there. What does remain, though, is like a pool of blood and some scraps of clothing and his boots.
Yeah. His boots are still there?
His boots are still there. They look like they were taken off, or the body was eaten out of them, or something.
I sort of illuminate the imprint of the body with my lantern. So this is where I found Chance's body yesterday. It appears the lizard folk have already consumed him.
Okay. And he proceeds to just walk down the middle of the swamp now, like not even bothering to go back on the narrow side because his shield was kind of blocked there. So he's just walking down the middle
Isn't
of the
this
sewer.
down an alcove, a passageway down the alcove, or
He just keeps going down the sewer because
doesn't it go deeper where I saw the lizard man?
not that deep though. Here, so if we've got
So the alcove was where the body was stashed, and then
Right.
the lizard man came charging down the regular sewer.
yeah, so if we've got like the regular sewer, there's a little path coming down one side. You come to this like little boop, which is all solid path, and then so let's draw the rest of the sewer over here. Path. And then there's this like big thing that's taken out, and there's still stone path along this section, but then all this other crap over here is just dirt.
Okay, so I guess we continue north or up or whatever that is.
Yeah. Oh, and of course this one continues all the way as well. All right, so you guys keep following that path for a little while, and eventually you come to a fork. One goes up and to the left, and one goes up and to the right. And Gtech whispers back to you, "Which one is it?"
I do not know. Let us take a moment to ponder. And I sort of circle around the fork area and inspect for footprints or anything. Prepare for an ambush, the usual. Would you like a perception check?
I have rolled one for you. You hear the scraping of claws on stone.
Coming from which direction?
It's echoing throughout the entire area, and you have no idea which direction it's coming from.
I pulled Gtech down the left side. How wide is the whole sewer? If we don't mind walking in the muck.
This is to scale.
So that's like 10 feet wide or so.
Yeah, like 12 feet wide.
And does the walkway only go down the left fork?
Oh, I should show you guys the map. I don't know why I keep forgetting to show you guys maps today. Could you repeat the question, please?
Does the walkway only go along the left fork? Up ahead?
There is a bridge that kind of like a wood bridge, not really not with handrails, but just like a wooden platform that goes across and onto a similar walkway that goes down the right fork. So they both have walkways on their outsides.
So I pull him a little ways down the left fork so that we can see back the way we came, but not.
As you glance back the way that you came, you see one of these large lizard folks coming barreling down towards you, scampering on all fours.
Right,
I guess on all threes with the spear in one hand, but like on the ground chart.
I'm in the process of pulling Gtech down the left fork. I'm going to roll initiative.
Okay.
And try and get behind Gtech. Let's see here. Quarters. I'm gonna. Yeah, okay. I guess I'll use 4 in case I want to hit something with my quarterstaff, but I'm trying to get behind Gtech.
Okay.
And make sure that my light is the creature's in good light so that he can hit it.
All right. So you and Gtech go at the same time. He whirls about in front of you and goes straight for the lizard man.
Does the lizard man close thus, or does Gtech have to close the lizard man?
They kind of close at each other.
And how many feet from where I am?
Like 15 feet. You can easily move. Like your turn is, you can do as you please, but you are 15 feet from them currently. Gtech swings his sword. Give me 1 second here.
Since we're both going for the lizard man, I will sort of delay, I guess, and go see how Gtech looks like he's faring.
Okay.
And act accordingly.
He swings his sword and just whips it wide. Slices right in front of the lizard man way too early, and the lizard man closes towards him as you go.
Quarterstaff doesn't have any reach, does it?
No.
Is the lizard man armed with just tooth
He
and
has
claw?
a spear.
I will circle behind the lizard. I don't see anything coming up behind the lizard man, so I'm going to start walking towards him, illuminating the area behind him. Does he have any comrades?
He does not.
All right, I'm going to try and. I mean, I'm shedding light, so obviously I'm not sneaky, but try and sneak up behind him and bop him on the head.
Can you bop him on the head with your staff while you have a lantern hanging from it?
That's something that I figured would become a point of contention.
Okay.
I was imagining that I can. I mean, I do have an engineering proficiency, so I'm assuming that I've like rigged it so that it's like some sort of self-contained lantern that can spin.
Yeah, I was expecting like a lantern that can hang.
I mean, I'm anticipating the first critical miss I get, you're gonna start dismantling my contraptions.
I don't see. I guess the lantern would just swing around the edge and just like bang around.
Yeah. So I'm probably. I mean, it's a long. It's like a 7-foot tall pole. I can hit him with. I've got the other end. I've got the middle section of it. I can use it as a weapon with just sort of a floppy.
Right, but you can't have the you have to have the lantern on the outside. I guess you can have the lantern on the inside and it would like bang against you. Sure, make a roll to hit.
I can use hit him with the lantern if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So make a roll to hit.
Is it back attack or?
No,
like
he sure
turns to
pivots.
face me.
Yeah.
Shit. 10.
I mean, not to face you, but like you're both kind of on the corners. Your staff swings against his scaly hide, striking it but not wounding him at all.
I'm fucked. This is it.
He takes his spear and jabs it towards Gtech, who looks like the bigger threat.
Good. That's what I was hoping.
His spear gets caught in Gtech's shield as we roll initiative for the next round.
6.
Okay, you go first.
So now I do get a back attack, right? If he's facing Gtech.
Yeah.
D20 plus 2.
Yeah, you step around the corner to get a back attack. D20 plus 2.
We're at a corner.
I mean, like, he had turned to kind of like keep an eye on both of you, and then stabbed for Gtech, which opened up his flank, and so then you take a few steps around the corner of him.
We're just in a straight hallway, right?
Yeah.
We're before the fork. We're basically fighting in the fork of the road, right? In the fork.
Right.
Of the
Right.
Right. Back attack is a whiff.
Oof.
And he's not facing me, so I can retreat, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to backstep about 15 feet.
Okay.
So the fight is still well illuminated, but I'm not in melee range.
Gtech goes and he swings his sword and strikes home on the lizard man.
I'm like shouting him unnecessary pointers in battle.
He strikes
for the soft underbelly. It's their weakest point.
He gets a nice swing and just like takes a chunk into the side of the lizard man, who starts bleeding this kind of bluish grayish blood immediately as it like pours down his side. Lizard man gives a shriek of terror and horror and plunges his spear right back at Gtech, who manages to catch it in his shield one more time. Initiative?
That a boy. I'm keenly looking down the 2 hallways to make sure that nothing is coming.
Okay.
At least, I guess I won't. I mean, I guess listening as best I can over the din of combat. No one really the only metal is the sword probably, so it's pretty muffled combat, I would guess.
Mm-hmm. And the spear is just kind of like a sharpened dowel still.
Yeah. Okay, so 6 initiative.
Go first.
All right, I guess I'll close and try and bop the lizard man on the head. Do I see anything from behind? Do I see anything coming down either hallway?
No. Well,
19.
that's a hit.
RD6. 6 points of damage.
You crack him over the head with your staff, and he crumples to the ground. And Gtech comes towards you, breathing heavily, going, "Oh, did you see it? We got it. We killed it.
We got him, boy. We got him.
Is he really dead?" And Gtech goes over and like kicks his shoulder over, and you see the lizard's man chest slowly rising and falling, and a big lump appearing on his head.
Yeah, I pull a knife from my waist and slit his throat.
Okay, it takes a little while. It doesn't cut as easily as you would expect, but it does eventually go through. And now your hands and sleeves, if you have sleeves, are covered in this bluish grayish blood.
Yuck. Do I know of? Have I heard anything about lizardman blood? Or is
You've seen it a few times. It's normally this color.
okay? I'm not worried about catching anything.
No more than if you were
All right.
digging into a cow.
I sort of shake the blood off my hands, maybe wipe it on a spare handkerchief, and clean up my blade and sheath it, and
Okay.
look down both forks.
Gtech looks down
behind.
both forks and then looks to you. Well, what are you gonna do?
I pause for a moment and, well, do I hear the sound of scraping anymore? It must have been coming from
No.
behind us and just echoing.
You do not hear the sound of scraping.
Well, a wise man once said to always take the righteous path, and that we will. And so I guess I wade over to the walkway on the right fork.
Okay.
I assume Gtech steps
He
in
follows.
line. And
Yeah.
Does he
And
follow
then-
or does he step in front?
I mean, he follows behind you, then steps in front of you. He follows your direction and takes the point again. Except he proceeds to walk straight down the middle of the sewer.
Getting pond scum all over his bare feet.
Yeah, well, he's got sandals. All right, straw sandals.
All right, so we walk down the right fork. Let me shut this blind behind me so that I'm not. Get a couple weeks a year in sunny California, and while I'm around, I just shut all the blinds and hide from the sunshine. All right. So, taking the right fork.
Yes. You take the right fork and you proceed down it for a ways. You actually come across another one of those manholes very quickly, and after another 100 yards or so, you come across another. You've been down under here for like 10 minutes now, 12 minutes now, because that fight took a little while longer. And you keep seeing like little tiny pipes come in on the sides that like drip water down into the main area. But you haven't seen any other major passages.
Okay.
And
I'm willing to walk
after
for maybe 20, 30 minutes.
okay, you continue on another, I don't know, 10 minutes when you start to hear the sound of running water, like flowing water.
Okay. Okay. This is fine. All good. Keep walking. There's Are there any notable creeks or rivers above ground?
No. Well, I mean, there's a creek nearby town, but it's all above town the entire time.
Well, keep walking. Do we see the source of this running water?
Yeah. You come to the end of this big chamber that has the path along it to a natural cave that runs perpendicular to the tunnel. And you peer over this small ledge and see that there's water running. And then you take a look at this ledge, and it looks like someone has constructed a dam, and that the creek probably had been diverted to run into the sewers and has since been dammed up so that it runs along its normal path. The dam looks like it's mostly mud, along with some animal bones, and you notice a backpack and some clothing, and you see sticking out of it is also a book.
Yeah, I was about
Like
to
it has
ask.
just been like lodged in there.
I approach. Can I roll a quick engineering proficiency check to sort of assess the structural integrity of this structure?
Please do.
I want to remove the book, but I also want to make sure that I don't bring the whole river crashing down on top of me. If
I mean, it's not that like the dam is only about 6 inches high, so at most you'd just bring in a bunch of water. It wouldn't be like a big dam.
So a 26. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming this was constructed by primitive technology, perhaps lizardman technology.
Technology is a very generous word to be using. It looks like people just piled up some mud and just shoved everything that they had in the mud to keep it together.
Well, I'm gonna try and remove the book and use something else that I can find nearby to plug up the hole.
Yeah, you pull out the book and actually mud just kind of seeps in place, and it looks like it's all fine on its own.
I brush off the book and wipe it with a fresh cloth and try and
You
see.
realize that it was not mud that it was stuck in.
I'm probably too excited to. I mean,
Okay.
I pull out a couple of fresh handkerchiefs. I'm going to be buying new cloth really soon, and I start, wiping it down, wipe it down, and make sure that it's the book I'm looking for. What is it? Can I read what it's written in?
As you start to look at the book, you hear Gtech go, "Oh, there's more of them!" And
I
you
look
feel
up.
him start to back up into you.
Uh,
You look towards where Gtech was, which is on the other side of the dam, and out of the I guess you've got this lance, so there's not that dark actually. You see coming into around the corner and into
it's
the
well
light.
lit. But I've only got a 30-foot light radius, which is not
Right,
far.
but there's also like you're before the dam and they're around the corner, so the lantern doesn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming out of from around the corner and into the light, you see two lizard men coming from upstream and one coming from downstream.
From where we came.
No, from the natural cavern.
Okay, but the way we came from is still wide open.
Yeah, still wide open.
All right, I guess let's roll initiative. How far are they all from me?
The two.
I guess
on
I can
the-
see them all, so they're all.
Yeah.
Like, this is all like as they're stepping in.
Yeah, they're all within 30 feet. They're all dangerously close.
Yeah. I am. Yeah, wedging my staff in the dirt or I guess in the sewage for a moment, as I go for my rose petals. Oh God, again! And
Okay,
begin
you
fumbling
go
through
as the
things.
lizard man on the right, the one coming from downstream goes. You guys go
He
simultaneously.
closes with me.
No, he closes straight for Gtech.
All three of them go for Gtech.
Well, only this guy's gone first. You and him go
Okay, you're doing
simultaneously.
individual lizard man initiative.
Yes.
All right, so he gets his attack as my sleep spell goes off. I'm going to go ahead and roll for hit die.
Please do. He stabs Gtech successfully for 2 points
Again,
of damage.
only 3 hit die worth of creatures. I guess we'll find out how beefy these guys are. They must be within 30 feet of each other, which I assume they are at this point.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so Gtech gets stabbed.
Actually, the center of effect is determined by me, so okay.
Gtech gets stabbed. It says it starts with the lowest HD, not the lowest HP, right?
The creatures with the least hit dice are affected
Okay.
first. From there,
Yes.
do I get to pick, or is it random?
No,
or-
it's going to be just kind of random from person to person. But since they're all the same hit die, I will just say, yeah.
So I'm okay. As soon as the spell leaves my lips, I set out. Retreat, Gtech. I got what we came for.
The one on the left,
many-
or one of the ones on the left collapses unconscious. The other two continue forward. Well, I mean, one of them just stabbed Gtech.
Yeah.
The other one goes at the same time that Gtech goes. Wait. No, I mathed wrong. No. Gtech goes first. And he doesn't actually initially retreat. He says, "I'll cover you. I'll cover you, man."
I move as far. So in my turn, I moved as far as I can without leaving Gtech alone in the dark. I
Okay,
guess.
so
So the edge. I'm 30 feet from Gtech and the fight.
okay. He starts to yeah. So you back up. He's got
So, I
this
mean, I
guy
put one to
just
sleep.
barely in the light. So he steps forward and takes a swing at him, even though the guy's in half darkness,
Mm-hmm.
and scores a hit. Of all things. Holy crap. Gtech cuts his head off with a single swipe. The fuck?
Fuck yeah, Gtech.
No, yeah. He's not actually supposed to. Whatever. Gtech cuts one guy down and then turns and runs towards you, going, "I got one! I got one! Let's get out of here!"
Get an attack opportunity.
The other one hadn't been able to close yet and was still at the 15 feet away from him.
Okay, run for your life, boy.
Yeah.
Are we able to? So is it his turn? Is it the other lizard man?
It's his turn. The other lizard man now comes chasing up. So Gtech ran and is past you because he.
And so I'm getting run down by this lizard man.
Yeah. So lizard man comes behind you and you hear the footsteps as you start to run. These feet flapping. You look over your shoulder at the last minute as he plunges a spear towards you. But you manage to
Killing with a single
duck.
blow.
You duck below the spear thrust and keep going. Give me.
Is he running as quickly as I am at movement 12? It seems.
You've only just seen him come out of the darkness, so you don't have enough information. But you know that lizardmen are not as good on land as they are in the water, and
Hmm.
usually not as good as people are on land. But these are different lizardmen. They are bigger and stronger, it seems.
So do I think I can outrun him on this next round, or am I gonna need to come up with some?
Uh, you have reason to believe that you can outrun him, but you do not have a guarantee.
All right, I'm gonna start casting a spell on as I roll initiative. The only
Oh,
spell.
yeah. Wild Surge for sleep.
Oh yeah, shit. It probably
Too
didn't
late.
do anything, but
Yeah.
we can retcon it if we want. 2 is actually nothing, right? It's lower level, so the duration is only.
Yeah, it's fine. It would
It's
only be
3, yeah.
120 chance to Wild Surge.
All right, so initiative again.
Yes.
8 as I'm running. I think
Um,
as I move and as I fight, my lantern sort of wobbles and flails in the air,
Okay.
making erratic patterns with the light.
Gtech keeps running, and he is at the edge of your light pretty much the entire time. He like stays within the edge of your light. So he doesn't want to run into the darkness.
Damn it,
But
Gtech!
he stays in front of you. You go at 8, so you go next.
Okay. So I'm yeah, my magical energies are limited. I'm sort of fumbling with what to, oh God, I used my only spell, and I blow off a Nahal's Reckless Dweemer. I'm going to attempt to grease the ground behind me at the lizard man,
Okay.
but we'll see.
Woo!
I rolled just a D100 on the Wild Surge.
Give me a D100, baby.
There's that random thing about adding your level to the dice roll. Is that on the D100 or is that?
Ooh, is that where? What is that? Where is that?
In Motorhall's Reckless Dweemer, because the release of energy is planned by the mage, his level is added to the dice roll
Yeah.
on the
I think-
D100.
Yeah, because the 100 on the D100 is spell effectiveness, range, duration, area of effect, damage, etc. increases by 200%.
Okay,
So
so I
think
rolled
you get
D100 plus 1,
more
so I can't
favorable
summon a
results
wall
higher
of
up.
force directly in front of myself.
I don't
What
think
about-
so.
And there's no material components for this other.
Nope.
RD100.
I mean, it's a wild surge. It's a metaphorical, magical
95.
pelvic thrust. Is that including the +1? Yeah. All
All
clothes
cloth
on
on
the
target crumbles to dust. This is a naked lizard man, and it was sort of an AoE,
yeah.
so nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
I curse as I run as fast as I can. Is T keeping up with me as I'm running away from him?
Yes. And the lizard man starts to chase after you
But
guys.
I catch up with Gtech, I think, on my initiative, right?
Yeah, well,
And
since
as I'm, like,
everyone's
running.
running at the same time, I'm kind of just having like you all continue your movement,
Yeah,
and then
I'm trying to get away from. I'm trying to get back to the pathway, so I move towards the edge and
Right.
I run on the dry ground. And I try. Yeah, I guess the lizard man's keeping pace with me.
no,
Gtech,
actually, he takes a
get it
couple
off
more
me,
steps
Gtech.
and hurls his spear at you,
Motherfucker.
which is also a miss.
I'm getting lucky.
And-
Any one of these has a pretty high probability of killing me in one blow.
Yeah. And you guys manage to escape. You do not hear the sound of pursuit, and after after 4 or 5 minutes, you slowed it.
I
No.
go all the way to the ladder.
All right, you guys make it all the way to the ladder then, and as you do, Gtech says, "You go first. You go first," and pulls up his shield and gets his sword out and looks around frantically.
I climb up the ladder.
Okay.
I assume there's light still coming down the top.
Yeah. As you climb up the ladder, you see Cookie looking down at you,
All right.
and you come out, and shortly thereafter, Gtech comes out.
I put the grate back on the sewer, and I once again take a seat in the middle of the road and catch my breath. Stick my lantern in the ground next to me. I'll turn it off in just a second. And the first thing, actually, I don't even help Gtech out. I assume Cookie probably helps him.
No, she's pissed.
Is she yelling at me?
No, she's just looking very cross.
Okay,
I'm looking at
I
Gtech.
check my book that's probably clutched in my left hand at this point, and make sure that I meant to look at it while I was down there, but we got ambushed.
It's
So I'm
called
making-
The Times and Trials of the Great Kings of Valis.
Times, and I'm a little bit disappointed. I start fumbling through it and make sure that it isn't like a fake cover or.
No, it seems to be some sort of history book about some ridiculous place named Valis that had ridiculous kings.
And how much does it weigh?
5 pounds.
Okay, we actually need to retcon that I dumped my one of my things as I ran.
Okay.
I
Your
think.
mason jar?
Yeah, let's say my moonshine's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. I just hastily, you know, yeah, tossed it from my belt as I made a break for it
Cool.
to keep myself below encumbrance. Gonna have to get some more moonshine.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Kings of Valis. That's longer than it will fit in my equipment sheet book. So I stumble to my feet, grumbling. I look at Gtech. How is he handling what just went down?
He is exalted, I think is the right word here. He is breathing heavily, but he's got like that wide eye and like, we did it! Oh my god! He's really excited. And his sister, like shakes her head and goes, "I can't believe you too," and just
Is
walks
this?
off.
Wait, Cookie. I sort of stand up and
She
fumble
turns
after
around.
her. Is this Chase's book?
She shrugs. I can't read.
Do you recognize
Open the cover.
I open the
open
front cover.
She shakes her head. No, there was a picture of a man on the front cover, on the inside of the front cover. It was all stretched out like naked. It was weird.
What the? Grumble, grumble, grumble. Well, this will still fetch a pretty penny down in. I take a second to figure out the name, to recall the name of that city. Down in Elmstead, I say. But not what I went down there for. I go grumbling over to Gtech. You all right, son? Take any hits?
Yeah, I think I'm okay. And he pulls aside his shirt, and you see like a small jab. And as he pulls his shirt aside, he kind of winces with the pain.
He's wounded?
Yeah, he is wounded.
Let's get you back to the goofy dog and patched up. I give him a pat on the shoulder.
Okay.
And I slip him, well, I slip him a gold coin and I tell him that I found it amongst the dam, and I give him a wink.
His eyes go wide. He goes, "Ooh."
Because you didn't have a chance to get any looting in yourself, I say. I think I may be headed back down there again, though. This time with a little bit of fire.
Well, let's go tell Daigon about it. And he proceeds to lead the way very eagerly all the way back to the sleepy dog.
Yep.
You guys arrive, and it is... You've been down there for an hour or so. So it's still morning, and you guys arrive, and he goes, "Oh god, it's not even open yet." Well...
He'll have something to get you patched up, right?
Yeah.
You got some bandages in the back or something?
I have some at my parents' house. I guess my house. And he leads you back to where Cookie is, and she's making food, and he patches himself up with your help, and Cookie makes you guys kind of a late breakfast, a brunch, maybe?
Mm-hmm. What is their house like? Is it like a small...
It's a cozy home, a 2-bedroom home with a nice little hearth in the kitchen dining area. The little back area that's got a paddock with some animals and a little farm going on.
Okay.
Stone walls, thatch roof, or stone outer side, wooden inner walls, thatch roof. It's a little cute, a little quaint.
I'll take my shoes off before I enter into the house, and leave I turn my lantern off. Remove the oil from the lantern. Let's say that I've subtracted about a total of. I'll just leave it. I think an hour is about all I've spent, right? Down in the sewer total.
Yeah.
So I'll leave that lantern stuck in the ground up front.
Okay.
And yeah. I ask Cookie, I compliment her on the home and ask her why she would want to leave town with such a nice place to call home.
You know what happens in this city? Nothing.
What's that?
Nothing at all.
Nothing.
Yep.
Why Well, I don't mean to alarm you, but just today we slew 3 lizardmen. Shit, we forgot to finish that. We slew 2 lizard. What's his name nearby?
Gtech?
Gtech?
Yeah, he's currently trying to sew his wound shut with a hook.
Oh, goodness gracious. I step in and I assume that I'm at least smarter than Gtech, and so I will try to intervene
Okay.
and get it cleaned up.
All
See
right.
if I can wrangle up some whiskey to cleanse the wound and also to drink.
There's no
For me, not for
whiskey.
Gtech.
There's no alcohol in the house. Yeah.
I hand Cookie a gold coin and tell her to go shopping and bring back some booze, some liquor.
Some liquor.
It'll help with the boy's pain. And I, make sure that his sutures are as straight as we can get him.
Her eyes go kind of wide at the sight of gold, but she takes it and eagerly hurries off.
All right. While she's gone, I discuss strategy with Gtech. I tell him, okay, now we got to remember to finish the ones that go down. Otherwise,
I thought you said we just bop them on the head and knock them out.
Well, times are changing. These are no ordinary lizard men. They appear to be feral. Did you see how big they were? And the scars? Mad lizard men. Nah, these boys need to be put down.
Okay.
These beasts need to be put down.
All right. You guys, is there anything else you would like to discuss with him, or do you wait until Cookie gets
No,
back?
I guess we're gonna rest up. I'll rememorize spells. Do I have enough flammable materials to start a fire on the lizard men?
Cookie comes back after like an hour and a half, and she comes back in a new dress, and brings a big kind of like a vase almost with her. It's like a smaller vase, I guess, with her, and hands it and puts it in front of you.
And what did you find here? I give it a sniff.
It smells like some sort of honey liquor. Not honey beer, but honey liquor.
It's been distilled?
Yeah. It has a very sweet, very strong alcoholic scent to it.
I give it to the boy. Give him a shot. I monitor his intake.
Okay.
Just one sip. I'm debating whether or not I even need to sanitize the wound with it at this point. Does it
He
look
makes
like
a funny face, and then he goes, "Ah, that's that's the stuff."
Now go take your loot, and why don't you make your way over to the Goofy Dog and tell all those old adventurers about your afternoon.
He does so, and you notice he also picks up his shield and sword as he goes. All right. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
Nah, I think I just need to rest up. I basically just need to re-sleep so I can get some more spells.
Okay. So you head. Where do you stay here for the night? Do you go back to the burning candles?
I'll stay here save myself an in-room if Gtech doesn't get in my way.
Gtech's gone, and Cookie is trying to get you to stay here.
Yeah. So I will probably spend the day reading my new book.
Okay.
And I don't know. Do I need to roll a charisma check to see how things go with Cookie?
If you would like to make any moves of any sorts, I would give me a charisma check.
I don't know if I'm making moves, but I'm a young and virile young man with a wandering eye.
Give me a charisma check.
Nope. Even though this book was not what I was looking for, I find it. I've gotten into it.
Well, the stories are kind of funny. These Kings of Alice did some really weird shit. And
Cookie
you find
comes
yourself
over,
shuffling that.
rubs my back, starts being flirty, and I snap something awkward at her. Give me 5 minutes, and she ruins the mood. Okay, so
I
that's
don't
my.
think it's quite that bad. I think she's more just trying to like talk to you, and you're like, hold on, I'm reading. Hold on.
Yeah. Okay, so that's
And
my
then-
afternoon. Does Gtech ever come back, or?
He does not come back until after you are asleep.
Awesome.
All right. Next morning, you wake up, and Gtech is passed out on the couch,
Is there
snoring
only?
loudly.
Is this just a one room? Like,
Two bedroom and then a common room.
okay, so I stole Gtech's bedroom.
Yeah.
I see. Works for me. The next morning, I will memorize Greece and Hall's Reckless Dreamer.
Okay.
Greece. Okay, it does require.
You don't want? You sure you don't want to take Hornberg's guess or
Um,
whatever it is?
it's pretty useless at high levels. Actually, that may be something that you keep around in your when you've got real spells at higher level slots, and you just throw your first level specialist spell to that because it has utility.
Yeah.
That's the one where you get an order of magnitude estimate of a quantity of things, so you can count armies or count piles of treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Count lizardmen.
So,
Pattern weave is what I really need, right? That's
oh yeah,
read that one. That's like the random detective spell.
it has some
The
use.
broken vase. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the next morning, Gtech took a hit. I don't remember that happening, but
Yeah, he took a stab from the first lizardman that attacked.
yeah. So the next morning, does he look like he got any more treatment from any of his buddies over at the?
No, in fact, his wound looks a little bit worse for wear, and the alcohol is coming off of him in waves. He apparently got plastered last night and barely stumbled home. I might have actually ripped open his wounds a little bit more.
Well, I'm gonna leave Gtech asleep on the couch and make my way to the Goofy Dog.
All right, you know that it doesn't open until like 10 or 11, so you're a little bit early, but you wander around town and see some sights.
I'll get the lay of the land, and you can tell me if anything else seems interesting in town. But I'll show up at the Goofy Dog whenever I think they'll be open. Okay. Maybe I'll be pacing the block a couple times over the course of the morning, and when I walk by, and
one time when you walk by, the door's open and you walk on in. You see Digon in there polishing a couple of glasses, and gives you a So you must be Fenric. I don't think we ever actually met.
Is this Digon, the man that I know is Digon?
Yeah, he outstretches his hand. I'm Digon. We've spoken.
I switch my quarterstaff to my left hand, and yes, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've been scrounging the sewers looking for a lost artifact.
So that Chase kid you were asking about?
Yeah, well, Chase is long gone. Lizardmen got to him.
Yeah, that's what Gtech was saying. He said there's lizardmen down in the sewers.
Biggins. I'm going to be venturing back. Yeah, I'll be venturing back down there today, but my interest only extends as far as my book. The reason I'm actually calling is Gtech is, he took a spear yesterday, as I'm sure he was.
Oh yes, he showed it off, and he asked us to pour alcohol on it over and over again.
Yeah.
Frankly, he was drunk, but hey, he's got his first kill. Let the boy have his day.
Indeed. I'm a little hesitant to bring him back down there with me again. He served well and all, but he's recovering. I stopped by to see if you might know of any other salty dogs that would be better suited.
Well, there'll probably be some nearby, but they're going to ask for you some money. What color's your coin?
I'll slip him a gold, pretend like I'm a high roller. Okay. And then I'll say, my coin's yellow.
All right.
What's the going rate for a merc these days?
Depends on who you ask for, but
like I've done this before, and like I know what the
the guys that roll around here are all pretty salty fighters. They charge a pretty penny, but they get the work done.
I said, will a couple of these thrown their way buy a sword for an afternoon, or are they?
If it's just an afternoon, a couple of those will do you just fine.
You mind putting me in the right channels?
Sure, sure. Well, whoever comes on by will deal with it. I mean,
I,
I've seen my fair share of lizardmen before. My boys can take them no problem.
well, I'll grab myself a table. You can bring me a whiskey when you got the chance. And
You don't have your own stuff with you today?
nah, I left that in the sewers.
Uh-huh. All
Your
right.
swill will have to do. I give him.
He chuckles, but gives you kind of like a that's pushing the boundaries there, buddy. Look,
And I
and brings you some whiskey in
take
a
a seat
moment.
at the table. Yeah,
Okay.
and I will wait around at least through the morning to see if anyone shows up.
Yeah. A few hours later, not a few hours later. I'm sorry. Few. There's no term for tens of minutes. So like 20 minutes later,
Hmm.
a elf walks in the room. He's got a long rapier at his side, like an unusually long rapier at his side. He has light chainmail on him that doesn't really move or jingle all that much as he walks, and looks surprisingly comfortable.
Hmm. This
And
guy, this guy seems too well equipped for my coin.
yeah.
Does Daigon send him over to my direction?
No, they actually chat about something for a few minutes, but I do want to impress upon you that this is a strange elf. He's got short, cropped hair, while most elves tend to, even the men, have longer hair and ponytails. But his
Uh-huh.
hair is very short, and there's a sign on his cloak. It is a circle with a hammer in it.
I assume I don't recognize this. I
No,
don't have any
you don't know what it
reason
means.
to look. Okay.
A few
I
moments later, though, a
I look
dwarf.
aloof and preoccupied, like
Okay.
lost in my thoughts.
5 minutes
Perhaps
later,
I'm even
a
poring over a
dwarf
book.
walks in, and as he walks in, Daigon points to you and does one of those like over there, sort of things. And he comes over to you, goes, "Eh, you
How
looking
does
for me?"
I look the dwarf up and down? Is he armed and armored?
He's got a big ass warhammer over one shoulder. That apparently he's walking in carrying a warhammer over his
All
shoulder,
right.
and a metal shield strapped to his belly,
Mm-hmm.
kind of like attached to his studded leather armor. And he's got a dagger at his side and a helmet with some hair coming out of the back of it.
I give him a nod. Do I know any dwarven greetings? Have I picked anything up along my
No,
travels?
you stuck with the humans the whole time, like in
Okay.
your little village.
I'll, uh, good morning. Yes, indeed. My name is Fenric, and I extend my right hand.
He sets his warhammer on the table and shakes your hand. All right, Fenric, what do you need and for how long?
I'm doing a little bit of treasure hunting down in the sewers, but lizardmen have made my searching a little bit more difficult than I expected. I was looking for a sword to hire or a warhammer, as the case may be, for the afternoon. Maybe a little messy, but a few gold coins should make it worth your time.
All right, let's do it. Just the afternoon?
I give him a nod. I say, how about 5 gold for the next 5 hours? Gold an hour? You never made pay like that, have you?
Not in a long time. Let's do it. Claps
All
his
right.
hands together, grabs his warhammer, and just turns around and starts heading out.
I lead him towards. I say the main entrance is over this way. I've mostly seen the lizard folk in groups of 2 or 3, and I guess I make small talk, ask if he's ever fought anything like this, see what his history is.
Yeah, he starts telling you about the Grell that he used to fight back in the day.
Grell.
Yeah, back in his kingdom underground.
Grell are powerful magical. Have I heard of a Grell, or is this just like some? To me,
No,
this
you've no idea what he's talking about.
Before we get to the entrance, I will say, oh, by the way, you don't have a problem with fire now, do you?
As long as it's not in my face. Why?
Well, if things get hairy, I
Harry?
that's
All right, all right.
I'm saying if we can't keep the lizard men if the lizard men charge, I'm blowing them up. Just
Don't blow
advance
me up,
warning.
all right? Just don't blow me up.
I will return you unsinged.
Okay. And we will come
Okay.
back from break and deal with the fallout of this in just a few minutes.
Yes, indeed. See you in a few.